Denver police say the man killed in a police shooting earlier this month was holding a black marker. We want to warn you, there is new body camera video showing what happened. It's disturbing to watch. We're going to pause it right before an officer fired her weapon.
Police say it started when someone called 911 reporting domestic violence, and then it quickly escalated. An officer firing when the man started to come at her.
Stop! Let's go! Let's go!
32 acres, got a knife.
Hey, Brandon, look at me! Stop! Hey! Brandon! Move! Stop! Don't! Don't!
The officer shot and killed 36-year-old Brandon Cole. They'd responded to West Cedar Avenue in Denver's Valverde neighborhood on August 5th. Witnesses say Cole pushed his wife out of a wheelchair and started going after his son. Police say the officers tried to de-escalate the situation by speaking calmly, saying his name. Video shows Cole coming at the officers with something in his hand. Police say they thought it was a knife. Later they learned it was a black marker. One officer had fired his taser, but that did not slow Cole down. The other officer shot and killed him. And from the video, you see two people, including a young child, just behind Cole when the officer fired. Police said those two people were okay. Denver Police Chief Ron Thomas said when the officer fired her gun, Cole was so close to her that the child was blocked. We're going to hear more from police coming up at 5 o'clock.
An Adams County deputy can thank his bulletproof vest for saving his life this morning. This started as a traffic stop at 88th and Colorado. The suspect took off and the deputy pursued them. Adams County Sheriff says the chase ended at West 74th and Federal. Investigators say the suspect shot the deputy in the chest or stomach area. The vest protected him. The sheriff's office says he's going to be fine. The suspect was taken into custody. We don't know who that suspect is or what led to the traffic stop.
Two people in Montana have been arrested in connection with a shooting that happened in Loveland last Wednesday night. Loveland PD said the two suspects drove by and shot at two people experiencing homelessness on North Cleveland Avenue, injuring one man. Police arrested 27-year-old Aaron Lambertus and 18-year-old Ayla Osterloth on Friday in Bozeman. That's where they're from. Now they're being held in jail on 2 counts each of attempted first-degree murder, now awaiting extradition back to Colorado.
3 years after a virus changed all of our lives, downtown Denver is slowly getting back to normal. New numbers show daily visits to downtown are about 80% of their pre-pandemic levels. But the makeup of people heading into the center city is changing. 9 News reporter Steve Steger is live in downtown for us right now. And Steve, people aren't returning to the office, but other people are coming downtown.
Yeah, consider this number. This was astonishing to me today because it stayed about the same. About 60% of businesses in downtown Denver have returned to the office. So that leaves another 40% of folks who are still working from home. Yet Denver is only about 20% off of its normal foot traffic that it had before the pandemic back in 2019. The pandemic did transform the way a lot of downtowns operate, and a lot of them have had to adapt to a changing population.
As a country, our downtowns have experienced an outsized impact related to the pandemic and all of the challenges that 2020 brought forth.
And that impact left a lot of people wondering if downtowns could ever be the same.
I was a little concerned that there would be no recovery.
Jeff from Arvada visits downtown every so often. Says the last few years have been grim, but this year he's noticed a difference. More people.
It seems more so than it did last year.
His perception comes to life in data.
Where we're seeing even more momentum is on evenings, weekends, special events.
The Downtown Denver Partnerships data found more people coming downtown every month so far in 2023, an average of 225,000 people per day in the month of June alone. That's 86% of the traffic downtown saw in June of 2019, before the pandemic. Pretty impressive recovery considering
our return to office numbers are still hovering around 60%.
Courtney Garrett leads the partnership. Their data shows only about 50,000 employees working downtown day to day compared to nearly 90,000 in 2019. yet people are visiting during non-business hours. 3 years after the pandemic, it makes you wonder if the focus should still be on bringing people back to the office.
So it's a yes and. We believe downtown will be a continued strong job market, while at the same time we're growing more of those lifestyle amenities, more living, more parks and open space, childcare, education.
So how do you convince people to come back to the office and work out of the office? The city and the Downtown Denver Partnership are trying to program different things to make downtown cool for office workers who are down here. One of them, which I thought would be a cool live shot, turns out it wasn't, is the pickleball court at Skyline Park. The reason it's not an awesome live shot right now is because it's only programmed from Tuesday to Thursday, which also correlates with when they see a lot of people coming back to the office. Most are coming back in that hybrid schedule where they have Mondays and Fridays off. And so Tuesday and Thursday tend to be the days a lot of people are down here, and you can find this pickleball court rocking between 3 and 5 on those days, and then a little bit later on as they do league play throughout the day. But they're trying to make downtown cool for anyone who wants to come and work down.
Cool again. Well, of course, as our pickleball editor, we expected you to find that, but it makes sense. I mean, look at our parking lot. Try and find a parking place on Wednesday in particular. It's tough. Just saying.
It's amazing. Yeah. People like that middle of the week schedule because, you know, if you're working from home on a Friday, it might be a little bit easier to kind of jump ahead to your weekend. You know, you don't have that commute at the end of your Friday. You don't have that long commute at the beginning of a Monday to kickstart things. So it makes sense. And people's work habits are changing. And so all of these different things that we're used to, like downtown Denver, are going to have to adapt to try to fit the new world.
All the new world. Okay, let's just campaign for a 4-day work week, and then maybe they'll change everything. It'll all get better, Steve. You and I, take it on. Let's go.
We're doing it.
Okay.
Yep, sounds good.
Hey, speaking of downtown Denver and cool, pretty cool day for this time of year. Looks pretty nice out there. We're going to take a live look at downtown as we get over to Chris Bianchi to talk about this little break in our August heat. Kind of nice.
Oh, it's beautiful out there, isn't it? I'm
Yeah.
kind of jealous of Steve, the pickleballers. I want to be outside right now, and it is gorgeous. As you mentioned, Tom, definitely on the cool side for today. Unusually cool for the middle part of August, but you guessed it, it's not going to last. If you like this kind of reprieve from the typical midsummer heat, hopefully you enjoyed today, because come tomorrow, it heats back up again, and that heat is here to stay. We're probably talking about 90 plus for the rest of the week, as well as into the upcoming weekend. Mountain storms, though, those will stick around. But for today, high temperature, 79 degrees for us in Denver. Our average high for this week in the upper 80s. So when we're talking about a high of 79, that's about 10 degrees below our seasonal average. But notice that in Grand Junction, 95. That is a sign of what's to come later on this week. But first things first, HC Doppler radar is still a little bit busy for us here in southwestern Colorado. This is monsoonal action for us here in the part of the state that needs the rain the most. So I'm kind of pleased to be seeing some of this rainfall in Telluride, in the San Juans, in the Sangre de Cristos. This is exactly where we need those showers and storms. But these will kind of dissipate as we head over the next little while. And then by tomorrow, we'll see some more of those showers and storms kick back up. But for tonight, temperatures drop back into the low 50s. Another cool night. We dropped down to 49 overnight last night, 53 for tonight and for tomorrow. Highs back into the low 90s. But if you think this is hot, just wait till what we've got for later on as the week. I'll have details on that coming up in my full forecast.
We turn now back to Hawaii, and the fire in Maui has now taken at least 96 lives. There's sincere worry, though, that that number is going to grow. The fire now described as the deadliest American wildfire in over a century. The search to find and even identify the dead is in its early stages. Right now, there are crews with cadaver dogs that continue to search the disaster area. One man said he'd gotten into a car with his friends to flee the flames. The road, though, that they were on became gridlocked, and then things got worse.
I ran out of the car and ran for my life. Ran down to the ocean. I was only a quarter mile from the ocean. And they stayed in their car. They died with their dogs and everything. 3 of my friends in one car and 2 dogs died.
The guys who you were with who stayed?
Yeah.
They didn't make it?
No. And then I saw one Fred dead on the ground like a piece of charcoal.
They continue to assess the damage. They say the fire has damaged or destroyed more than 2,200 buildings, and the governor of Hawaii said 86% of those were homes, apartments, or rentals. saying the fire has done about $6 billion in damage. And the American Red Cross, once again, one of the major organizations that is taking donations to try to help those victims. If you'd like to help, you can call the number on your screen, or you can text the word Hawaii to 90999. You can also visit the Red Cross website to donate. That's redcross.org.
Search and rescue teams are trying to find a missing woman from Florida who's in Grand County, they believe. This search started this weekend. She's been missing for about 2 weeks. The sheriff's office found Svetlana Ustimenko's rental car at the Dead Horse Trailhead. That's near Fraser. The car was due back Thursday, August 3rd. Search and rescue crews, dogs and drones have searched that area around the car for 3 days. They say the off-trail search is difficult because of down timber, marsh, swamp, and willow thickets. If you have any information about her, please call the Grand County Dispatch.
Aurora police want to remind you to slow down, but they also want you to know their warning period for speeders is over. It ended today. Now, if you get caught by one of those photo enforcement vehicles, you will be getting a speeding ticket. So those vehicles will be seen in places like these high-risk spots, school zones, work zones, parks, and busy neighborhoods.